Amazon is now looking for ways to censor its own employees following the unionization win of Amazon workers in Staten Island, New York. Now, how are they planning on doing this? According to internal documents reviewed by Ken Klippenstein over at The Intercept, they're planning on doing it through their internal messaging app, which is likely to be rolled out by the end of this month. Amazon, according to Klippenstein, will block and flag employee posts on a planned internal messaging app that contain keywords pertaining to labor unions. An automatic word monitor would also block a variety of terms that could represent potential critiques of Amazon's working conditions, like slave labor, prison, and plantation, as well as restrooms, presumably related to reports of Amazon employees relieving themselves in bottles to meet punishing quotas. And so there are lots of words included in this internal document. And apparently this issue came up as the executives and managers were having some sort of meeting about how to roll out this app, what kind of features it's going to contain. Following a meeting about the internal messaging app, an auto bad word monitor was devised, constituting a blacklist that would flag and automatically block employees from sending a message that contains any profane or inappropriate keywords. In addition to profanities, however, the terms include many relevant to organized labor, including union, grievance, pay raise, and compensation. Other banned keywords include terms like ethics, unfair, slave, master, freedom, diversity, injustice, and fairness. Even some phrases like "this is concerning" will be banned. It's just like, where are the Republicans claiming that the corporate world is too woke? Where are they? Where are they? I want to know where they are. Where are the free speech warriors who spend literally all day on Twitter crying about how censorious the left is? Let's have a conversation about this type of censorship that is very likely to take place as they roll out this internal messaging app. By the way, will their workers even have time to engage in chats with their colleagues as they're dealing with these crushing quotas? So much so that they have to urinate in plastic bottles? Just curious.
Anna, that is an excellent question. And I had not thought about it in that context, to be honest. That's literally a list of canceled words. I mean, you want to talk about political correctness. You will not be allowed to say factually correct things. By the way, including, I've got to go to the restroom. Right? Because those words have been canceled by a corporation. The number of Republicans you will see complain about that is zero. We're predicting ahead of time. All those guys pretending to be populist. Oh, we're taking on corporations and Disney is woke and those other guys are bad. Okay, where are you at? This is to protect the average American worker. Where are you at, Republicans? None of them will ever criticize Amazon for this. You know why? Because they're corporate America's bitches. All those liars like Matt Gaetz, Marjorie Taylor Greene, when push comes to shove, they're kissing the ass of corporate America, and they're not actually gonna do anything about the workers. Higher wages, they hate the idea. Protecting American workers, they despise the idea. Do you understand? All those right-wing populists don't mean anything other than, they're talking about race. I don't like to talk of race because I'm a racist. I don't like it. All they are is hate and fear. In terms of actually protecting their own voters, they would never do it. They would never ever do it. Instead, every one of them will be licking the ass of Amazon, even though they're doing the most political correctness you've ever seen.
No, I mean 100%. Right-wing populism it starts and stops at them throwing hissy fits over some, random Black Lives Matter sign that a company might post somewhere within the building, outside the building, which, by the way, everyone, including the left, knows is nothing more than pandering, doesn't really mean anything. If you actually care about people's lives, including the lives of your Black employees, for instance, maybe improve the working conditions, maybe stop firing them when you find out that they're actually trying to organize a union. But of course, the right wing is not at all interested in improving working conditions, or more importantly, ensuring that there's some equilibrium of power within these corporations to ensure that workers are empowered to protect themselves, to protect their wages, to have better working conditions. The right-wing politicians are not in favor of that. But I do want to draw a distinction because there are certainly right-wing voters who want better working conditions. I mean, you look at various strikes that happened in this country quite recently, like the strike that happened at John Deere. You think that all those workers are on the left? No, they're not all on the left. I'm sure there's plenty of conservative workers at John Deere who took part in that strike and they demanded better pay, better working conditions. But there's a reason why Republican lawmakers, corporate funded Republican lawmakers, run away from these types of discussions because they're not about economic populism. They're not about empowering workers. They're about serving their corporate donors, something that we talk about on this show often. But I want to get to some other pretty hilarious statements coming from Amazon about this internal messaging app because, well, what's the point? What is the point of this app, especially since it's going to censor its own employees? The major goal of the program, Amazon's head of worldwide consumer business, David Clark, said, was to reduce employee attrition by fostering happiness among workers and also productivity, of course. Yeah, a great way to support or emphasize happiness among your workforce is to treat them well and to not censor them and to not fire them if they're conversing with their colleagues or coworkers about potentially organizing. There's more. They plan on making their employees happy through shout outs, because I mean, who wants bathroom breaks when you can get a shout out? So shout outs would be part of a gamified reward system in which employees are rewarded virtual stars and badges for activities that add direct business value, documents state. At the meeting, Clark remarked that some people are insane star collectors. I don't know about you, Cenk, but I think you're messing up, bro. Like, you're not gamifying how well we're performing on our jobs. And I would like some virtual gold stars to feel better about workers don't want that. Workers want better working conditions. They want to be compensated fairly. That's what they want. And they want to ensure that they're not going to get fired if they're having conversations about organizing.
Yeah, by the way, you could also do both. You could say nice things about your employees and give them good wages and give them good healthcare, right? My guess is if they're weighing things, they're gonna prefer the wages and they're gonna prefer the healthcare, right? But then give them a gold star, great. Gamify, I enjoy gamifying, right? But it's not in lieu of, it's not in substitute for actual good wages, healthcare, and being decent to your employees. When you gamify and you give credit, and the credit doesn't have to be through gamification. When you give credit to people, it should be heartfelt as opposed to a trick, so that you trick them into being appeased and not actually paying them.
Totally.
But that's exactly what these guys, and they think they're so smart, what these executives are doing. Thanks for watching the Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR, so those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.